going on. So it's currently 5 in the morning. I just woke up and now I need to get out of bed and start priming my brain for the day. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do that and what I do for my morning session so that I'm ready for the rest of the day. Okay, so the first thing I have to do every single morning is stand up immediately when I hear my alarm and press stop so that I am awake. I'm standing, I can't get back into bed or I will fall asleep. If I'm getting back into a schedule, like last night, I fell asleep at like 1 or 2 and it's currently 5. So obviously I didn't get the avid amount of sleep, but on usual nights, when I go to sleep earlier, like 10, 9, and I wake up at 5 in the morning, I'm pretty well rested by that point, so I'm ready to get out of bed and I'm ready to start my day. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chug a whole bottle of water with some pink Himalayan sea salt because my body was super dehydrated throughout the night and I lost a lot of water weight, so I'm gonna start rehydrating for the day. So yeah, I'm gonna chug this and then I'm gonna go get dressed and go work out downstairs. Since I did not get the avid amount of sleep last night, I am going to make a cup of coffee before I go to the gym. Usually you shouldn't do that or you shouldn't need it, but obviously getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep, not the right way to do it. So I'm gonna be 100% during this workout. If I wanna be 100% during this workout, then I need to make myself a cup of coffee. I've ever told you guys the benefits to coffee, but there's a bunch and you can look them up on the internet, but pretty much one of them includes, there's like a bunch. There's like lowering Alzheimer's, you're lowering your chances of getting type 2 diabetes, cancer, what else is on there? There's a bunch, but I know those are the main ones for sure. So yeah, that's my pro tip on coffee. First thing I'm doing, warming up on the treadmill. Yo, what's going on? Super winded. I just did like some portion of cardio to finish it. I was like doing that because what happens is your resting metabolic rate speeds up throughout the day, so you're automatically burning more fat than you originally did when you didn't do cardio. I'm a yak everywhere. So yeah, I'm done with my workout. I'm feeling awake right now. There's light everywhere around me. I'm pretty much done with my coffee, and now I'm about to go upstairs, do my Wim Hof breathing in the shower. That is terrible, but I love it at the same time, and eat breakfast. And then I will get work done and start the rest of my day. Peace. I don't remember if I told you this or not. I'm pretty sure I said it in one of the last videos, but the Wim Hof method pretty much feels like this. You start breathing in super deeply in warm water for about 40 seconds until your hands start feeling tingly, and then once that's done, you turn the water super cold. It just starts spinning around like this. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been doing that for the past like 5 days, and whenever I don't do it for that long, I am super bad at it. So I'm gonna see how long I can stay in today. I know how cold this water gets, so I'm fearing it now, but it is essential for your morning and you should do it every single day. Oh, it's gonna suck. First, out of the shower, I want to shower this. That's how it works. freaking freezing. You live in the Northeast, you can completely contend with what I'm saying. The Northeast water is the coldest water I've ever experienced in my life, living in Florida for a majority of my life. Holy God. Yeah. So that is another benefit, another health benefit that you can get to start your morning, but also what it'll do is throughout the day, you'll feel warmer. It was also proven by this dude who was literally walking up Mount Everest shirtless. And it'll also just get you awake for the day. A lot of times you kind of feel like drowsy, I guess, throughout the day. Whenever I do this, I never feel drowsy, especially when I have coffee. And I ever have any supplementation regarding like alpha brain, L-theanine, any sort of supplementation like that, I never feel drowsy. So that was one more thing to kill your day. And yeah, now we're gonna move on to breakfast and how to properly do that so that you're energized throughout the rest of your day. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a little breakdown of how I do breakfast. Right now I have 4 eggs and 2 egg whites on here. Pretty much what this is gonna do, it's gonna give me my proper vitamins, so my vitamin B, has B6, B12, there's also omegas in there, there's also vitamin D in there. So it's gonna give me all my vitamins and proper nutrients, as well as that, it's gonna give me my good fats that I need for the day, and it's also gonna give me my protein that I need for the day. So one of the common misconceptions is that you need carbs in the morning because your metabolism is at its highest point. That is completely incorrect, because if you're trying to be, okay, that's not completely incorrect. If you're trying to be a bodybuilder, yes, I might recommend that, but if you actually have stuff to do throughout the day, I would never recommend doing that. So I would never put potatoes or whatever in my meals or overload them. And I'm not gonna say all potatoes, but I'm gonna say regular, like Russell potatoes. Because what this does is when you have carbs in your first meal like that, it has a high glycemic index. So what that means is that it goes in your blood sugars really fast, which means you get a really big jolt of energy, but at the same time it'll crash really fast. So by the time you get to work, at whatever, you go to work from 9 to 5, you get to work at 9, by 10 o'clock you'll already be done and you'll be ready to go to sleep, which is not what we want. We want you to be efficient throughout the day. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna pound on the fats, which is gonna make ultimately caffeine or any sort of other thing that you use in the morning to get yourself ready last throughout the day. And you're also gonna be more awake and your cognitive abilities are gonna be enhanced. Also, another thing I do is whenever I'm cooking is I like to put on alpha waves or some sort of relaxing noise so that I'm relaxed for the day. And then yeah, after this cooking and me eating, I'm going to probably watch a YouTube video while I eat, probably something that I want to learn, and then I will meditate, and then I will leave to go do more work. Okay, so now after I've eaten breakfast and I've done all the rest of the stuff I need to do, I'm going to meditate. People like to do it in their different ways. Some people like to do it on their apps. I have the Calm app, but I also like to do something that I've recently been doing, which is, it sounds kind of crazy, but like you kind of talk to yourself in your mind. So the way you go about this is, a lot of times people go to dinner with others, right? They'll ask them questions. How's your day? How have you been? What are you doing tomorrow? Those types of questions. And then they'll dive deeper and they'll ask them, what is your opinion on this issue? Or what do you think about this? And at the end of the day, you don't take time to think about it yourself. People will ask you those same questions, and in a way you could be answering that in a superficial way because you're trying to appeal to an ideal instead of trying to just be yourself. So what this does is, when you ask yourself questions in your head, so you'll be like, okay, what is your opinion on how your dad yelled at you last night? You could be like, oh, I really didn't appreciate, or your initial reaction would be like, it really wasn't that bad. But then your subconscious will kick in and it'll be like, oh, I really didn't like that. And I feel like I should talk to him about it and whatever. And you'll start realizing that that you'll know yourself more. You'll be more in touch with your inner self, which will allow you to do better things like work out, because you'll know how your body works. You'll know what you're thinking. You'll know how to process things. So yeah, that's the way I do it. I'm not saying you have to do it my way, but I definitely do recommend some sort of meditation to clear your psyche for the day and get yourself in a position where you are only about to think about what's in front of you instead of thinking about what happened yesterday or what is going to happen in the future. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I hope you guys like everything. Make sure you're doing all the steps that I told you. I'm telling you, it'll increase your efficiency by a mile. But at the end of the day, sleep determines most things, so make sure you're getting sleep over everything. So I recommend 6 to 8 hours, but if you want to sleep more, you just have less hours in the day. Preferably, I want more hours in the day, so I like to do that. But again, I just want to restate one thing. If you wake up at 5 a.m., when somebody wakes up at 7 a.m., if you are then up for 2 more hours than the next person and you work 5 days a week, that's 10 hours more that you're working than any average person a week. On top of that, if you do it times 52 weeks in a year, that means you're working 520 more hours than the average person. You're working 20-some days more than the next person. So why would you not take advantage of that? To me, that makes no sense. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Waking up at 5 a.m. will literally change your life. Make sure to put it in your schedule, because even though, yeah, it's nice to stay up with your friends late at night, like at 1 or 2 in the morning, and you probably have those super deep talks, at the end of the day, if you want to be great at something and you want to achieve what you want to achieve, you need to be putting in the hours. So you need to be waking up at 5. And if your friends start getting carried on in conversation, literally just say, hey, I'm sorry, unfortunately I gotta go to bed. It doesn't mean they're gonna like roast you. Like, that's not, I mean, if they do, it doesn't matter. They're like, oh yeah, like what a grandpa, you go to sleep early. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be way more efficient than them, and you're also gonna beat any competition you have later in the future, because you're gonna be working 520 more hours than they are. So yeah, that's the end of the video. And I guess I will see you guys next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and go and comment on the video. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. And that's a wrap.